Okay, you ready? This is a beautiful maimah, the Frierdiker Rebbe, and this is the Rebbe's maimah based on the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. So if you heard it, I said, I'm sorry, we learned a part of something of this maimah last year. Since we're going towards Yud Shvat, it's going to take us some time anyway to do this. So we're holding it in Kislev. You have 2 months to do the maimah, so get ready for Yud Shvat, the 10th of Shvat this coming year. So this maimah is based on the pasuk of Shir HaShirim, which says, Basi Lagani, I've come to my garden, my sister, my bride. Yep, I've come to my garden, my sister, my bride. This is Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, says, this maimah focus on the term Gani, my garden. Basi Legani, I've come to my Gani, my garden. The Medrash interprets to use the words Gani, my garden, rather than Gan. It doesn't say come to a garden. Come to a garden. God should be saying, this is an expression of God. King Solomon is saying what God is saying, come to a garden.
I came, Bati.
I came, but the question is Gani. There's every word that ever explains to me, but Gani, my garden. Why does it say my garden? To indicate something that is more significant than ordinary garden. My garden. I want you to come, not to come to a garden. I want you to come to my garden. We're a regular garden in a public place that anyone can enter. No, when I say it's my garden, Gani, my garden, that implies a more intimate connection between this garden and Hashem. It's my garden. It's not just a simple garden. This is my garden. My garden. What's so special about this garden? Why is this considered God's garden? The God has many worlds. The heavens are. There is even in Kabbalah. There's the 4 worlds: the world of Atzilus, the world of emanations, the highest world. That should be God's garden. Why does the expression "This is my garden"? So the Medrash explains the word Gani, my garden, should be interpreted Ginuni. Ginuni. What means Ginuni? The Aramaic word for chuppah. A canopy which is held over a chassan and kala at a wedding. So come to my chuppah, really, he's saying. God is saying, let's get married. Yeah, let's get married. Let's come under the chuppah. That's why tradition, we go to the kala, and then we go to the chuppah. First we go to the kala.
The word Gani actually comes from the shoresh comes from to lehagen, which means to actually protect.
Protect, okay. Okay. So this is okay. So this is the concept of a chuppah over here. That that we go to the kala and we ask her to come to the chuppah. God, in essence, comes to a Jew and says, "Come to my chuppah. Let's go and let's get married." For example, the Gemara in Bracha says, "Rav Ami, Rav Yasar, Kakitin Lei Gani Rabbi Lezer." Rav Ami, Rav Asi were fasting a chuppah for Rabbi Lezer. They were putting together a chuppah for their friend. So we see the Gemara overused the word Ganana. The concept of a chuppah is a Ganana. In addition to the fact that Hashem calls it my garden, the interpretation of Gani as Ganuni, chuppah, shows us that this pasuk is describing a very deep connection between Hashem and his world. God says, this is not only my garden. My garden is alone. I'm not sending you to somebody else's garden. I'm asking you to come to my garden. But over here, God is saying, this world, that's my garden. This garden is my marriage place, is the place where I get married. It's a place where there's a marriage happening. So it's even more than just coming to my garden. When you God is inviting not to my garden, God is inviting me to his chuppah, to his special place. Similar to a chuppah is a special place reserved for the marriage of a chas and kala. Right? According to Sfardim, the chuppah is the yichud in a way. Right? They don't have, there is where the chas and kala come and unite under this canopy. So the Medrash explains that Hashem came into his chuppah when his presence was revealed in the world at the time of the building of the Mishkan. So where is in a practical way where God said, I want to create this concept? So The Medrash continues and says this happened at a time after the Matan Torah, after the giving of the Torah, when God asked the Jews to build a Mishkan. A Mishkan v'asli Mishkan v'shechanti b'soicham. However, the world was already his garden, his chuppah, from the moment the world was created, because his presence was initially revealed within the physical world. This place had already a special intimate connection. So it was already in the pipeline, so to say. When God created the world, he wanted the world should be, he created the world as his garden, and as not only his garden, but as his intimate place of revelation, an intimate place of connection. The words of the Medrash, Ika Shechina betachtoinim haisa. When God created the world, the Iker, in the beginning of the creation, the Iker, Hashem's presence, Iker is more than they just translate Hashem's presence. Iker means the most important. Iker. Ikar, and the most important thing. So there's a lot of things, right? A lot of things. God created the world, a lot of things. But the question is, what is the most important thing? So the most important thing, Ikar, was Shechina b'tachtoinim ha'isa. The Ikar, the most important thing was that the presence of God was in this world. What happened? Then Adam and Eve, as I say, started to push God away. They pushed the presence of God away. And now, what is the first thing that Adam says? He doesn't know. He's hiding from God. So Adam and Eve think they can hide from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Right? They can play hide and seek. Right? That's what happened. Before, there was no hide and seek. The presence of God was there. Then suddenly they sinned. And now suddenly God is asking them, where are you? Ayeka, where are you? Right? God is the hiding, they're playing games. Suddenly the game started. The hide and seek game started. This is what happened. So that's what. However, Hashem's presence was not revealed here for long. It didn't take the same day they were created was the same day they sinned. It's not like they were created, not like in the beginning of the day. Adam and Eve were created closer to the middle of the day. So, and then the Shabbos came about. It was a couple hours, the Gemara actually says, how many hours it took from the creation to them to sin. The sin of the tree of knowledge was the initial sin that resulted in the concealment of God's presence from this world. So that's what happened. Adam and Eve sinned, and God, what was the response? God moved away from the world. Slowly moved away from the world. God expresses this concept of slowly moving away from the world, which he says to Adam and Eve, death is going to come to the world. So that's the response. When you have the revelation, when you have godliness taken away from the world, then the world is not left with a vacuum. Impurity comes to the world. Death comes to the world. Negativity comes to the world, because when you take away something else fills in this space. And therefore, our avodah is to start filling back the space. Filling up the space. More little light, chasing away a lot of darkness. We need to bring in more light so that the space is not filled with darkness. And now you don't have the capability for darkness to come in. So that's what happened. Additionally, sin following generation made this can feel even more intense than Cain and Hevel, and eventually drove Hashem's presence through 7 stages of concealment. So started from the beginning, Adam and Eve. Slowly, people pushed away godliness from the world, left a great void, a great emptiness. No, not till today. So Avram Avinu began. Now Avram Avinu came. Avram Avinu was the first lead, Echad Avram. Avram Avinu was the first human being and ultimately the first Jew who brought about this revelation of God to the world. So Avram Avinu, the process reversed, and Hashem's presence started to become revealed again in the physical world. So Avram Avinu brought from the 7th stage to the 6th. And this continued throughout the tzaddikim of the next generation until Moshe Rabbeinu, the 7th. And all 7th ones are beloved, it says. came and completely reversed the concealment. So Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov Avinu, Levi, Kahas, Amram, and Moshe. Those are the 7 leaders from Avram Avinu, right? Abraham until Moshe Rabbeinu, and they started to bring the word godliness to the world. So Avram Avinu was the beginning, and Moshe Rabbeinu was the 7th one. Moshe Rabbeinu brought Vayeda Hashem al Har Sinai. Moshe Rabbeinu Moses brought God to the world. So Moshe Rabbeinu, as it says in the Gemara, the Gemara says the same example. Moshe brought the Jews to the chuppah. The chuppah was Har Sinai, Mount Sinai, and Moshe Rabbeinu brought the Jews under the chuppah, and reinstituted the marriage between the Jewish nation and actually the world, which the Jewish nation brought about to the world. Brought back this concept, the connection. Vayeda Hashem, and God came down to the mountain. That God came back, so to say, there's a revelation of God. And when did that ultimately complete? By the building of the Mishkan. And in the Mishkan, you saw the revelation of God in this world. That was the power of the Mishkan and the Beis HaMikdash. So that's the beautiful concept of the Medrash that explains this. This final step was the revelation of the ultimate goal, which all previous steps led up to the revelation of Hashem's essence within the physical world. We see this return of Hashem's presence in the physical world reflect in the pasuk in Parshas Truma, which Hashem tells the Jewish people to build a Mishkan. This is the fact Hashem said, make for me a Mishkan. So it's an interesting word, Mishkan. And they go, Asli Mikdash, V'shachanti b'seicham. I'm sorry. Also, the word Mishkan is also, we call it a Mishkan, because the word Mishkan also is the same word, Lishkon, V'shachanti. So I will dwell within them, V'shachanti. It's like you dwell in a house. When you dwell in your house, your whole being is in this house, right? You're not half here and half someplace else. You are dwelling. This is your home. Your whole entity is in the home. God says, I am going to come in this home. I am going to come in this home. V'shachanti, I'm going to dwell in this house. That goes back to Ika Shechina, which is the same word. V'shachanti Shechina, the Ika presence of God was in this world. Again, the essence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu came back to the world. V'shachanti, I will dwell.
But again Hashem left after
Again he left. So we're back, we'll bring it back. How are we to bring it back?
Hashem is so involved in the world. How is out?
No, because he wants that's our free choice, to have him part of it, or to keep him hidden from it. So we have to work on bringing the Shekhinah back, reveal the Shekhinah in the world.
Rabbi, we say that he controls even the blade of grass.
Right.
So that we say his presence.
Hakol b'dei shamayim, chutz miyira shamayim. Everything is in the hands of God, besides the fear of God. So the Eibusha gave that free choice to have the revelation of God. Whether God is revealed or not doesn't change the fact that every blade of glass is turned by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Do you see God turning in the blade of glass? No. The kavanah is to be able to see that. So thus to believe it is wonderful. But do you see it? No. So we need to see it. We need a galasilicus, revelation of God. Seeing is believing. You need to be able to see it. So we all believe that every blade of glass.
Revealing himself.
We need to God. We need to reveal Him.
How are
Not
you going to reveal him?
bring the Eibusha to the world. Do more mitzvahs.
The nature reveals Hashem.
Do more mitzvahs. Become more refined. Become a better refined. Become a vessel to revelation of God. You can't just reveal God. You need to become a revelation. Tzaddikim reveal God in the world. You can see godliness in them. But the regular person has a harder time to reveal godliness in the world. Because they're very mundane.
After Hashem created the world, he's still running it.
Yeah. Well,
That's it. He created
no.
He
That's,
left it for the people.
no. Kol b'dei shamayim. Yebusha runs the world. But it's behelim. It's not in a revealed state. We're looking for, that's Galus. What's the difference, Galus and Geula? But we always say Galus and Geula is all the same Hebrew letters. Besides, it's missing one letter, and the letter Aleph, which is God. So Galus and Geula are the same thing. To go from Galus, which is exile, to Geula, which is redemption, is one letter. And what's the letter? The letter is Aleph, which means to bring God into the world. And that's the difference between the concept of the aspect of Galus, exile, because there's darkness, no revelation. And when you don't have revelation, you have a lot of other problems. So the ikka problem of Galus is darkness, is there's no revelation of God, which brings about a lot of things. Death and ultimately evil and all the negative things of the world that happen. Why? Because there's no revelation. People do not see it. They don't see the connection. They don't connect the dots. And they don't realize that there's yesh balabayis labirazu, that there's a balabas to this place. Ayin roye v'oizen shemas. There's an eye that sees and an ear that hears. And we read it in the Mishnah, but we don't see it. Imagine if you saw it, right? When they say, you go on the street, it says, radar, if you didn't see the pole there, if you didn't see the radar pole, you would say there's no such thing. So therefore they make sure you see it. Okay, now you see it. Now you know it. You're going to get a ticket. You go through a lead light and you get it in the mail. So that's it. But you imagine if you would never see it. They would tell you it's there. But you see it. Now you see it. We need a Gilei Lakus. We need to have a revelation of God. And that's where our avodah is, to reveal God to the world. That's all we got to do. That's all our avodah. That's our avodah. So this is a beautiful thing. So the fact that Hashem said, make me a mikdash, and through this I will dwell within them, we see that the construction of this physical place enabled Hashem to come back to his garden and reveal his essence within the physical world, just as it was revealed in the beginning of creation. So we're basically going back to the beginning of creation. We're going back to revelation of God. And that's our avodah, to go back to beginning. What's the beginning? Revelation of God in the world. Furthermore, the fact that the pasuk says, I will dwell within them, it should have said rather within it. Right? Make for me a mishkan, I will dwell within it. It doesn't say that. It says b'seicham, within them. We see that the mishkan enables Hashem's presence to reveal within each and every Jew. It's more than that God's going to reveal himself in the mishkan. God didn't want to build a mishkan so that God will reveal himself in the mishkan. No, the mishkan gave the capability for the revelation of God within each and every human being, which that is the ultimate. The ultimate is not that God will reveal himself in the mishkan and everybody would go and do whatever they want. The purpose of revelation of the mishkan, that's why God destroyed these things. Because if it didn't accomplish the revelation of God with each and every person, so what do you need a mishkan for? The point of the mishkan is not the building. The point of the mishkan is revelation of God. And it is the kli for every person. It's to be able to create that every individual can bring godliness to themselves. If that's not accomplished, what do you need it for? There's no need for it. So what, the Eibishter needs the Eibishter is here whether you think he's here or not here. He doesn't need you to validate him. God doesn't need your validation. He doesn't need to be validated. Right? God is God. For us, for humans, for us to reveal ourselves, the Eibishter put in the physical world for us to see that we have the capability of this revelation. And without we wouldn't see, we wouldn't be able to think that Hashem, Shemayim Hashem, Varas Nasan Livnei Adam. They're two different entities. The Eibush is too big to reveal in this world, and humans have to go their own way. Chas v'shalom. The Eibush says, no, I'm going to show you that in this world you can have a revelation of God, and that shows you that you can do it yourself. You can become a mishkan. Every person can become his own mishkan. That was the point of the mishkan. Think about it. The Mishkan was a place, but no Jew ever could get into the Mishkan, right? Even if he got to the courtyard, he didn't get into the Mishkan, right? You had to be a Kohen. Yeah, they'd be kohen, and if you're a kohen, even you couldn't get into the Holy of Holies. Only if you're a kohen gadol. And if you're a kohen gadol, you only got there once a year. So it was not a. It was a place that over there that you understood that there's the capacity of revelation of God in the world. That's why we're praying for the building of Beis Hamikdash. We're already praying. We're praying for the building of Hamikdash. We want another building. There's enough buildings. We don't want another building. We want Gilul Lakos. We want to have the revelation of God in the world so that it will inspire us that we all can have a revelation of God in the world within ourselves. And that's what that was the Aveda of the Beis Hamikdash. So we see that the Mishkan enables Hashem's presence to reveal within each and every Jew, and through them, the entire world. That means, that's the meaning of the pasuk, L'sakin Olam, B'malchus Shakai. That's the Tikkun Olam. What's Tikkun Olam? L'sakin Olam, Tikkun Olam, to rectify this world with the Malchus, with the kingship of God. So the Aved of a Yid is to bring God within the world, the building of a Mishkan, or the building of a Beis Hamikdash, to bring God within themselves, and also to bring God within the entire world. The way this is accomplished is by following the model. So how do you do this? So this is accomplished by following the model. We have to have a model of serving Hashem that establishes to the construction and the operation of missions. Here, the Torah in essence gave us. You asked the question how. Somebody asked the question how you do it. So the Torah itself gives you a blueprint. It says build a mishkan. Mm-hmm. Build a mishkan. So the means is v'asali mishkan is a mitzvah. It's one of the 613 commandments. You're obligated to build the Beis Hamikdash. Every Jew is obligated today. You have an obligation to build the Beis Hamikdash. How do we do that? That's what the Gemara says. Whoever does not build the Beis Hamikdash in his time is like he destroyed it. Because you have a mitzvah. You have a mitzvah to build this Mishkan. V'asu li migdash.
Why are you not doing it now?
We start doing it. Yeah. The question is, how do we start doing it? We have an obligation to do it. And then you should know, even though right now we cannot build a Mishkan, we cannot build a physical Mishkan, Beis Hamikdash right now, because first you need Mashiach. The Rambam gives you the steps. You need the Mashiach to come. He needs to bring the Jews he needs to build the Beis Hamikdash. So you can't do it physically. You cannot do a lot of mitzvahs physically. Okay? You can't do a lot of mitzvahs physically. So if you learn Chassidus, you know that every mitzvah could be done. Every mitzvah could be done. Maybe some things that cannot be done in its physical need to be done in a different kind of way.
I don't understand. But the Torah is
Amen.
For what? If you're an obligation for the Jewish people, you don't ask Hashem, he built the Mishkan.
No, even the Mishkan needs to be built by the command of God, by Moshe Rabbeinu. Even the Mishkan needs to be built by Moshe Rabbeinu. Mishkan Sha'asam Moshe. So the Mishkan was built. The first Beis Hamikdash, David HaMelech wanted to build it. And the Rebbe said no. It needs to be built. They needed to be built by Shlomo HaMelech. So everything needs to come through somebody who's going to direct it. The first Beis Hamikdash was built by Moshe Rabbeinu. So even though it says everybody's supposed to make a mikdash, but it was done through Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu was the one who directed the building of this Beis Hamikdash. The Rambam says the same thing. Mashiach is going to be the one who's going to direct the building of this Beis Hamikdash. So we need Mashiach to come and direct this building. Until then, we can... What?
Let's bring the Mashiach.
Amen. That's... Okay.
We try to do it every day.
We need to do this. So the Frierdiker Rebbe explains... So now the Frierdiker Rebbe explains this model. So the Frierdiker Rebbe explains... The Frierdiker Rebbe explains this model. The Frierdiker explains the revelation of Hashem's essence is brought about in the Mishkan and into the Jews to the service of tzaddikim. So that's where... I said Moshe Rabbeinu... But that's where tzaddikim, that's their avodah. Their avodah, Moshe Rabbeinu, or Mashiach, or tzaddikim in every generation, their obligation is to do that, is to bring down God into the world, which in this concept refers to every Jew in this concept, because v'amech kulam tzaddikim. We're all righteous people. Who draws down the level of he who dwells forever, exalted and holy, by serving Hashem's with iskafia, resisting one's selfish desire.
Everybody's tzaddik, Rabbi?
Yeah, we're all tzaddikim. It's a pasuk. It says, "Ve'amech kulam tzaddikim."
Every Jew wants the Mashiach.
Every
right?
Jew is a
Let
tzaddik.
God give us that push to start.
Moshe, go
Bring
tell
him.
him.
Huh?
Tell him again.
Moshe, not everybody wants it to. All the Halonim don't want no
You
Mashiach.
pray in
Nah.
the
They don't care.
Hello, you're against the pasuk. The pasuk says, "Ve'amech kulam
Everybody
tzaddikim."
wants the Mashiach.
You're all tzaddikim. Well, what's all tzaddikim? All tzaddikim.
I don't agree. Sorry.
You don't agree?
Sorry.
Well, you're the tzaddik denominator.
I am not. So how good?
You're not. You are. You are a tzaddik.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. You cannot argue that you're a tzaddik.
Tzaddik.
Everybody's a tzaddik. That he doesn't act like a tzaddik doesn't mean that he's not a tzaddik. No. Everybody has a godly soul in them. He's a tzaddik.
Even the Halonim.
Everybody is a tzaddik. Even if there's no chilonim. No, don't say va'alam kulam chilonim. It says va'alam kulam tzaddikim. Every person is a tzaddik. Every Jew is a tzaddik.
Someone doesn't follow the rules of Hashem.
He's still a tzaddik.
Become a tzaddik.
No, he is a tzaddik. He not becomes a tzaddik. He is a tzaddik.
Do nothing.
Still, he has a godly
Call
soul.
him a tzaddik.
Because that's what he is.
Ah.
Because he has a godly soul.
1 minute you tell me to follow God's rules.
You
and
say-
next minute,
Relax. You say it every day you're davening. You say it every day you're davening. Neshama shenasata bi, tahoira hi, ata barasa, ata yetzarta, ata nefachta bi. The neshama that is in me is pure. You have formed it. You have created it. You have put it in me. Okay, you said in the morning today, Moidani lefanecha shechzayta bi neshmasi. The Eibishter gave me this neshama. And that neshama is pure. Not you, not anybody can affect this neshama. It's pure as the day it was created, which is thousands of years ago. This neshama is pure. Is this neshama tzaddik? Yes. Is this neshama in me? Yes. That's why in every day in the morning I say Meidani Fanecha. The Eibusha says Zalman Bukiet, you can be a tzaddik today. You can be as pure as your soul. That you're not going to be, that's up to you. But today in the morning, I've given you back in the neshama, and I say it in the davening. It's pure as good. If I want to be a tzaddik today, you can be a tzaddik because you have a neshama that's a tzaddik. You don't want to be that? That's your choice. Kol b'dei shemayim, chutz mi'ira shemayim. You don't want to be a tzaddik? Don't be a tzaddik. But could you be a tzaddik? Yes, you can. That's it.
But the possibility of being tzaddik doesn't make you tzaddik.
No, you have to be a tzaddik, not possibility. You have to take the potential into
You have the
reality.
choice.
So,
If you
so
don't-
be a
If
tzaddik.
you don't pick the choice,
So that's your choice. That's my choice, not God's choice. That's my choice. Zalman Bukiet decided not to be a tzaddik. So you could decide to be a tzaddik. Be righteous today. Don't do anything negative. Well, you can't do that. One day you cannot say, I'm not going to be anything negative. I'm going to be a tzaddik.
it's hard.
I didn't say it's not hard. Are we arguing over here hard or easy? We're arguing over here if it's possible. It's possible. Okay? Nothing is impossible. Right. And this mean a tzaddik?
And if I don't come to mincha, I'm going to be tzaddik.
If. What's the difference? What's all right now?
You see, Balabalo,
Right now, you're a tzaddik.
Don't worry.
There's a reason why you didn't come.
Right there. So finished. Which every Jew who draws down a level, he who lives forever, exalted and holy by serving Hashem with a skafia. So you can become a tzaddik. I'm not telling you a tzaddik in the Tanya. Okay, but you can become a tzaddik in the aspect that I'm doing righteousness. I'm not saying you're becoming the tzaddik of the generation. Relax. Don't become a bagaiva on me now suddenly because I call you a tzaddik. You're not such a great tzaddik. You're a tzaddik, but okay, there's a lot of levels of tzaddikim. There's a lot of levels. You're a tzaddik, but you're not a rasha right now. You're doing good. If you do a skafia, what's a skafia? There's two things in Chassidus, very two important words. Skafia and ishapcha. Hiskafia means is self-control. Subjugation, self-control. Hishapcha is transformation. So maybe you can't transform yourself, But you can have self-control, right? I can have self-control. Just because I have self-control doesn't mean that I have now become something else. I have control of myself. So I have a nefesh habahamis, I have an animalistic soul, and I have great desires. I'm controlling it. That's an unbelievable thing. To have self-control is unbelievable. Is an unbelievable accomplishment. That's a problem. Most of us, the Alter Rebbe Tanya says most of us don't realize the greatness that God has, the nachas ruach, the great satisfaction that God's have in self-control. We always think, no, we need to be different. That's the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara, your evil inclination, is my evil inclination telling me, no, since you're never going to change, you're nothing. And the Torah says that's not true. That you have self-control, that is your ultimate avodah. You're right, you're never going to become somebody else. Because that's a tzaddik. You're not going to be a tzaddik. But you're going to control yourself, and that's even greater than a tzaddik. You want to be greater than a tzaddik. A tzaddik has transformation. We have self-control, and that's great. A greater light, Alter Rebbe says, a greater revelation of light comes to the world through self-control than transformation.
Tzaddik doesn't have this subjugation.
No, he doesn't have that obligation. He doesn't have that problem. Right? So a tzaddik has transformation. He transforms everything. He becomes tzaddik geyser, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mekayim. The tzaddik is geyser, he makes a decree, God listens and changes things. That's not a tzaddik. I agree with you. I don't have that power. I'm a simple Jew. But what am I? I'm my own tzaddik. Okay? I can control myself. And that self-control, that's the whole Tanya, is to have self-control, to learn how to control oneself, and to realize the greatness of self-control. That's not the self-control is not, but I didn't change. Oh, no, when I self-control, when I have a skafia, this is the word skafia, resisting of one's selfish desires. When I have the concept of skafia, when I can control myself, that brings about an unbelievable revelation of God in the world. Maybe even greater than a tzaddik. And the proof is, the majority of people have this Aveda, the Aveda of Iskafia, not the Aveda of Isapcha, of transformation. The Aveda of Iskafia, that we control ourselves. And that makes you a tzaddik. That makes you even greater than a tzaddik.
You're saying just the essence, like a simple Jew, if he just learns to control himself, maybe he doesn't open his mouth, maybe he doesn't repeat some.
Look at it.
Just that one little act.
That one, look at that. So the Rebbe says, I just said it, but the Rebbe says, regarding the Iskafia, the Zohar says, when one causes. Listen to the Zohar, brings the Zohar. Look at the Zohar. You're a tzaddik, you are a tzaddik. When one causes, no, you're not a tzaddik, you're greater than a tzaddik. Well, you don't want to be a tzaddik, you're greater than a tzaddik. When one causes a sitra achra, force of evil, to subdue to Iskafia, look what it says. Godliness, the glory of the Holy One, blessed be He, is revealed in all worlds. That's the power of Iskafia. So the Zohar says the power of Iskafia is that you are bringing down such a level of godliness that is above the world. That shows you that Iskafia is a much greater power than Hisapcha. Especially the phrase revealed in all worlds refers to the level of godliness which is revealed. And not only where the godliness is revealed, which would refer to mamala kalam, a limited level of godliness, which is revealed within the world according to the world's limitation. The godliness which is revealed in all worlds equally is the level of Seivav Kalam, we learned in last Maimah, which refers to the ultimate level of godliness. That's what you're trying to accomplish. So you don't want to be the classical tzaddik. You want to be a Jew that reveals a higher level of God, a Jew that struggles, which is equal, incomparable in all worlds, and which is therefore revealed equally within them. It is this level which is drawn into the world when a Jew serves Hashem following the model of the Mishkan. Make for me a Mishkan, and my essence was. So now we have to know the model of the Mishkan. That means that this Mishkan is different than anything else. What is this Mishkan?
I'm gonna.
What is this? Why? So why does this Mishkan, which in Jews, you think about it, the Torah gives you a Mishkan. It tells you how to build the Mishkan. God becomes the architect. He comes not only it says he becomes the builder. He's the architect. He's the builder. He's so involved in this Mishkan, a building that he wants to build. Why is the Eibush get so involved in this Mishkan? Because you're going to learn this Maimah, the power of this Mishkan. The power of this Mishkan, not stam a building, which the Mishkan is the model to the Beis HaMikdash, and ultimately Shechanti B'Seichem, that we all should make a place, a Mishkan within ourselves. So when we understand this model of this Mishkan, which the Frierdiker Rebbe is going to go very, and the Rebbe is going to go very extremely deep into this Mishkan, and the model of this Mishkan, we'll understand what this Mishkan and how we can have a skafia, how we can have this concept of self-control, skafia, and ultimately hisapcha, which that's what we want. We want not only a skafia, because skafia means that I have self-control, but I'll always have the struggle. Really, I should have the struggle and transform it. Then have the next struggle, transform it. The next struggle, transform it. You have a lifetime of struggles. One struggle is not going to finish the job. Okay? There's a lifetime of struggles, and will ultimately transform it.